The United States lost Greenland, not in war, but through arrogance. In 2025, the White House made a brash public push to buy Greenland for $1.7 trillion. President Trump demanded the deal, threatening Denmark with tariffs and vowing to use any means short of conflict. The world watched as America tried to bully its way to Arctic dominance. But Denmark and Greenland stood firm. Greenland was not for sale. The spectacle backfired, alienating allies and hardening Greenlandic resolve. America's aggressive tactics were seen as desperation, not strength. Instead of gaining a strategic prize, the US lost credibility and influence. While Washington made noise, others made quiet moves. The fallout was swift. Allies recoiled, competitors advanced, and America was left out in the cold. The attempt to secure the Arctic's future ended with the US sidelined, watching as a new map of power was drawn, without them. The blunder wasn't just in wanting Greenland, but in how the US tried to get it. The world changed in those few months of 2025. America's Arctic gamble became a cautionary tale. The era of American dominance in the far north was over. The US found itself isolated, its ambitions frozen out. The Arctic's future would be decided by others. Why did Greenland matter so much? Beneath its ice lies a fortune in rare earth minerals, vital for everything from smartphones to fighter jets. For decades, America depended on China for these resources. Greenland was the way out. There's more billions of barrels of oil and vast natural gas reserves, now accessible as Arctic ice melts. Control of Greenland meant control of future energy markets and new shipping lanes connecting Asia, Europe, and North America. The US already had a military foothold at Thule Air Base, but owning Greenland would have secured dominance over the Arctic's resources and trade. The $1.7 trillion price tag was a calculation of this immense power. Losing Greenland wasn't just a missed opportunity, it was a strategic failure. America's rivals and allies now held the keys to the Arctic. The US was left scrambling to catch up. While America threatened, its allies built partnerships. Canada and the EU quietly negotiated with Greenland, offering respect, investment, and a share of the profits. Canadian mining firms secured long-term mineral rights, supplying Europe and bypassing the US entirely. Europe deepened its economic ties, with leaders like France's Macron visiting Nuuk to show support. The strategy was simple: partnership, not ownership. Greenland's parliament set the terms, hiring locals, protecting the environment, and funding a sovereign wealth fund. Canada and the EU agreed, building trust and locking the US out. America's quest for control left it empty-handed, while its allies gained everything they needed. The Arctic's wealth now flowed to those who treated Greenland as an equal. Quiet diplomacy outmaneuvered loud demands. The US watched as its friends claimed the prize. The lesson: respect wins where force fails. Greenland stood strong under pressure, led by Prime Minister Mute B. Ejedi. The American offer was rejected as an insult to their identity and struggle for self-determination. Greenland's parliament passed laws to protect resources, require local hiring, and direct profits into a sovereign wealth fund. Foreign companies had to play by Greenland's rules, no exceptions. The island was open for business, but only on its own terms. This shift transformed Greenland into a powerful player, using its wealth to fund education, healthcare, and infrastructure. In 2025, Canada, the EU, and Norway launched a $3.1 billion Arctic Green Transition Fund to finance Greenland's development, explicitly excluding the US. A new economic order was born, with Greenland at the center. America was left out, its influence diminished. Greenland found partners who respected its sovereignty. The future would be built on their terms. America's blunder had swift, severe consequences. Defense contractors faced shortages of rare earths, driving up costs and deepening reliance on China. Europe, now supplied by Greenland, reduced its dependence on US energy. Germany signed a landmark Arctic gas deal, bypassing American exports. The transatlantic alliance fractured as NATO partners prioritized their own Arctic interests. A new bloc, Canada, the EU, Scandinavia, and Greenland, now dominates the region's resources and trade. The US, once the Arctic's leader, is now on the outside looking in. The Greenland debacle is a warning. Arrogance leads to isolation. The world is changing, and America must adapt or be left behind. What does this mean for America's future? Can it learn from this mistake, or will it be sidelined as new powers shape the 21st century?